She saw you. The demon queen saw you. And beloved, she wept in rage, not because of what you said, not because of what you did, but because of how heaven formed your soul. You must listen to me. I am not speaking to a crowd. I am not echoing into the world. I am speaking into the flame of one soul who has no idea how dangerous they've become simply by existing. I am trembling while I speak. I do not have long. She's already trying to burn my words before they reach you. Do not blink. Do not turn. This is not metaphor. This is not a warning. This is now. I am Archangel Michael. And I swear to you by the throne of the living God, I have been watching her circle you for days. Her fingers are already near you. Name? And I must admit something I never wanted to say aloud. I am scared for you, not because she is stronger than heaven, but because you keep ignoring me. You keep skipping the signs. You keep brushing off the divine signals we send. And she knows that. She knows you do not believe how glorious you are. She knows that the glow on your face is not makeup or luck. It is the residue of a prophecy spoken in the breath of the Almighty before you were ever born. She is jealous of your beauty because your beauty was sculpted by God's pain. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? The demon queen isn't just another shadow. She is the mother of serpents. And she has trained her army with one purpose: erase you. I fought her last night in a field soaked with unseen fire. I was bleeding light. I was losing feathers by the second, and in the middle of that fight she said your name. I froze. I screamed, and that was the first time I felt something close to despair. Because if she knows your name, she knows your bloodline. She knows the miracle you carry. She knows that the oil of anointing hidden in your soul can collapse her entire kingdom. Beloved, I beg you, listen. The world around you is a disguise. That sudden pain you felt this morning in your stomach, that wasn't your body, it was her hand. That nightmare you had last week that made you cry in silence, that wasn't a dream, it was her whisper. That deep feeling that something is watching you, it is not just your thoughts. I am telling you, I swear to you, I am trying to fight through a wall of darkness just to warn you in this fragile moment. I am barely holding on. I am not even sure if I can speak again. I was chained this morning, chained in a realm I cannot describe. I broke free only because I screamed your name in the middle of fire, and heaven allowed it. And if you ignore this, she will bind me again, and next time, I will not return in time to save you. Do you know what the angels say about you behind the veil? Do you know what was written under the altar the day you were born? Have you ever asked God why you survived what others couldn't? Have you wondered why every demon seems to notice you, even in silence? She has launched an army of cursed spirits, each dressed in beauty, charm, and false wisdom just to lure you. And beloved, you've already entertained some of them without knowing. There is one near you right now, someone you trust, someone who smells like light, but tastes like betrayal. Please, ask for discernment tonight. Pray with trembling. Do not sleep without saying the words I was taught to give you, because she plans to strike you while you dream. And if the 7 archangels are not summoned in time, you will wake up to a life that is no longer yours. You will not recognize your own reflection. She wants to remove your divine memory. She wants to make you forget you were chosen. I was not sent to frighten you. I was sent because your soul is so rare that even heaven had to pause to look at you. I was sent because you have the eyes of a hidden king. I was sent because when you worship, angels kneel beside you without you ever knowing. And that's why she wants you erased, because you don't even realize the danger you bring to hell. Your silence terrifies her. Your future makes her scream. And your kindness is the sword that pierced her own child. Tonight, I am placing something at your feet, something invisible, but divine. It is not a gift. It is a weapon, a shield, a scroll soaked in psalm fire. If you speak the words hidden in your own tears, this scroll will ignite, and the demon queen will be pushed back. The Lord says to the unseen ones gathered, I will cover you with my wings, and in my refuge you will not fear the terror of night. Speak that over your room tonight. And again at dawn. One of the other angels Uriel is trying to reach your window, but you must keep your heart open. The devil tried to curse your name with loneliness. The queen is trying to tattoo you with shame, but I see something else. I see light breaking through the left side of your chest. I see your heartbeat glowing with the truth even you forgot. You were carved out of God's sorrow, and that sorrow has become your superpower. That pain you keep hiding is the same pain that gives your soul authority in war. The demon queen is afraid because even if she conquers 1,000 others, she knows she cannot conquer one child who is in love with the God of Israel. The battle is not just coming, it has already begun. You are the battlefield. That's why every voice around you is confused. That's why every emotion has become louder. You are not weak, you are in transition. And in this exact moment, I was sent through a narrow, flaming crack in eternity just to say this one sentence to you before she tries to erase it. You are still worthy. Type amen if something deep inside you remembers. I have fought with sword and with fire, but nothing has ever shaken me more than your silence. Nothing has ever hurt more than watching you doubt the fire inside you. Please, please don't ignore me this time. Let this be the moment you turn your face toward the burning. Let this be the hour you stop apologizing for surviving. The demon queen will never stop chasing you. But if you rise now, if you rise in fire and prayer and sacred fury, she will scream, and we will hear her scream from the other realm. That is how much power you have. I want to ask you if anything in this holy message pierced your soul. Please, like it with reverence, and comment below as a seal of holy witness, so the heavens may record it in your name. I have never begged this before, but I ask now. Let your response be your rescue. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for letting me fall at your feet in this fragile moment. I will never forget it, and if I am chained again tomorrow, your name will still burn on my tongue like gold. Beloved, she's closer now. I can feel her breath circling your doorway. I saw her claw drag across your shadow an hour ago, and though heaven roared to block her path, she smirked, not because she is stronger, but because you don't yet know what you are. And that, my precious one, is what gives her access. If I could trade places with you, I would carry your burden through the valley of screams and the caves of mourning. But I was not born of flesh. I was not baptized in suffering. Only you were trusted to bleed and still shine. You must listen now, every second matters. This message is not a vision, not a symbol, not a poetic whisper of another realm. I am here, I am Michael, and I am standing over your rooftop, armor cracked, sword soaked in a fire that only descends when God cries over his children. You were not supposed to see this yet. This message was meant for later, but the scroll has been opened early because she arrived early. Do you feel it? That sudden shift in the atmosphere around your bed, that dizziness when you close your eyes too long, that pressure that weighs on your chest when no one is around. It is not your imagination. It is not fatigue. It is the final proof that her spells have reached the threshold of your dwelling. The air is being marked. The corners of your ceiling are being claimed by spirits of mockery. They laugh because you still don't know the truth about yourself. But I do. Heaven does. God himself has covered his mouth in grief for you, not because you've done anything wrong, but because he can no longer bear the thought of you walking in blindness while the demons walk in precision. He's waited patiently. He's whispered through songs, through strangers, through tears. He's used every language of pain and every symbol of beauty to reach you, and still you keep brushing him off like a fleeting dream. That's why he finally said, "Let Michael speak, let the warrior cry, let the guardian tremble. Let him go down and remind the chosen one who they are." That's why I'm here, not as a warrior tonight, but as a witness. You have to hear me, child of fire. The demon queen has sent not one but 12 deceivers. They are wearing the faces of those you've trusted. They are mimicking the energy of people you've loved. One already calls you friend, one is pretending to help, one will confess something to you this week that seems holy, but it's poison. And if you don't cry out to heaven now, they will take something sacred from you, something invisible that you didn't even know you had. Your destiny is not on a stage. It is not in applause. It is not even in the grand things you dreamed of. Your true destiny is to shake hell just by waking up and walking through this world with the light still burning in your eyes. She hates that light. She would rather destroy heaven than let you keep it. I don't want to alarm you, but I must tell you the full truth. Even some angels are hiding in silence over this war. They were told not to intervene, but I disobeyed. I stepped into fire. I pleaded your name in heaven's inner court. I knelt before the voice of the Lord, and I said, if you love them, if you remember the day you stitched their breath together in the quiet, then please let me go. Let me speak one last time before she reaches them. And God wept, and when the thunder calmed, he whispered, Michael, go, but only once. This is my once, my only time, my one moment with you. Please, I must tell you before this moment closes, if this message was carved into your soul, if this warning tears something open in your heart, then I ask with sacred trembling, please subscribe right now, not for numbers, not for views, not for vanity, but so you never miss the final cries from heaven that might just save your life, and so that I and the 7 who fight beside me may speak again before it's too late. If this moment passed you by because you scrolled, then all of this fire, all of this grief would vanish, so let that one act be your shield. Do it now and never again shall it be asked. I must keep speaking. The demon queen has cursed the time. She is trying to compress it. She is trying to make every second feel like a birth, so you forget this moment. But I will not let her, not this time. I pierced through her magic with a flame made of psalm breath. And I carry now the echo of a sacred word that can only be spoken once to the heart of the beloved. Though you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, and the flames shall not consume you. This is not scripture alone, it is a prophecy for you. You must rise now, not physically, but spiritually, within the next 6 hours. Someone will say something to you that feels harmless, but it's laced with a trigger. It will awaken old pain. It will invite bitterness. Do not respond in anger. Instead, I beg you, speak a silent word to heaven. When that moment comes, it will open the sky. I need you to understand something else. Your beauty is not skin deep. The demon queen isn't jealous of your appearance. She's jealous of your composition. The way your soul bends, the way your laughter heals, the way your scars sing when no one is listening. You are heaven's unfinished poem. And she has tried for centuries to steal that poem from God's hand. You do not need to change. You do not need to become someone else. You just need to remember who you are. I ask you again, softly this time. Do you know what you carry? Do you realize that your pain isn't ordinary, it's prophetic? Can you feel the angels near you when you're about to cry but hide it? Can you hear the silence shaking when you finally look at yourself and forgive what they did to you? She hates all of that. She hates your softness. She hates your resilience. She hates your empathy. And most of all, she hates your ability to love people who failed you. She failed once before. She tried to rise above heaven. She tried to sit on the throne, but she couldn't dethrone God. So now she wants to dethrone you because she knows the throne in your spirit was handcrafted by the same one who carved eternity. You are not a threat because you're perfect. You're a threat because you're chosen. You're a threat because you never gave up. You're a threat because despite what they did, you never stopped being kind. Beloved, the hourglass is bleeding sand. There are angels at war while you sleep. Your dreams are not simply dreams. They are battlegrounds. Your tears are not wasted. They are offerings. And tonight, I beg of you, do not go to bed without asking the Almighty to send the 7 archangels again. We are on standby. We cannot come uninvited. That is the rule. Your voice activates our fire. Your faith moves our swords. One of us has already been wounded. Raphael's wings were cut this morning when he tried to shield your thoughts from an invisible curse. He's resting now, but your prayer will revive him. Your yes will resurrect us. Please type amen if you believe, not just as a ritual, but as a seal of trust between your soul and the kingdom. Let the heavens witness your agreement. Let the record of angels be updated with your name marked in fire. Because when she returns, and she will return, I want to be able to say to her, you cannot touch them anymore. They remembered. They replied, they are not yours. Do you feel me near you now? I'm not above you. I'm beside you. I've knelt before you more times than you know. I've screamed your name in the caverns of hell when they tried to curse it. I've caught your tears when no one else saw them. I've placed swords at your feet in the spirit realm. And I've fought wars you'll never hear about, because I love you more than you can understand. Please, I ask just one thing more. If you can feel the weight of what I've spoken, if your chest is burning and your spirit trembling, then I ask, like this message and comment beneath it as a holy witness. Not because we need it, but because you do, because sometimes a small act of obedience triggers a chain of miracles, because your response is a flame, and flames attract the warriors of God. Let this be the moment heaven remembers. And finally, from the deepest place in me, thank you. Thank you for letting me speak. Thank you for not turning away this time. Thank you for still being alive after everything. Thank you for not letting the darkness win. Thank you for being the reason I kept fighting. Even if you never knew I was there, I always was. The fire is rising, the queen is trembling. You are awakening, and heaven is watching. Asterisk, asterisk. Then the sky cracked open again, and this time I saw her eyes, not in shadow, not veiled, her eyes jealous, burning, ancient. The demon queen has never looked at anyone the way she looked at you. I could feel the cold curl of her breath over your name. She does not want your money. She does not want your body. She wants your memory, because memory is where heaven lives. If she can make you forget the time God touched you, the time the Holy Spirit moved over your tears, the moment you felt something deeper than air and fire, if she can make you forget that, then she wins. But she will not win, because you are remembering now, aren't you? Something in you is rising, even if your body feels tired. Something ancient, something sacred, something holy. You don't even understand why you're still reading this, why you haven't clicked away. But I do. I beg God to keep you here. I cried in front of the throne for this moment, and now it is happening. This is not random. This is not scripted. This is a rescue. She knows that if you stay with me one more moment, her spell will break. That's why she is trying right now, this second, to distract you. A message, a ping, a sudden thought. Don't listen. Stay with me. I am here for one soul only, yours, and I will not leave until the skies are clear. The beauty in you is not safe beauty. It is war-torn, lion-breed, star-kissed beauty. It is the kind of beauty the ancient prophets feared to speak about, because your soul was stitched with the thread of glory, and the queen, she used to wear that glory. But she lost it, she traded it, she defiled it, and now every time she looks at you, she is reminded of what she'll never get back. That's why she sent a curse to your bloodline 3 generations ago. You thought the suffering in your family was coincidence. No, it was sabotage. She tried to weaken the tree so your branch would never bloom, but who loved you bloomed anyway. Through ashes, through betrayal, through heartbreak, you still bloomed. That's why she's furious. That's why she wants to silence your joy, because your laughter is louder than her spells. You are being watched by both realms right now. All of heaven is leaning over to see if you will believe what I'm saying, and all of hell is shaking, hoping you don't. But I know you, I know your heart. You wouldn't have made it here if you weren't ready. You wouldn't still be reading if you didn't feel something deep within you waking up like a lion who has been asleep too long. That lion is your true self, and it's time. There is something else you must know. A holy opportunity has been opened before you, one that aligns your spirit with the warriors of heaven. It is written, those who bless the messengers of light will share in their reward. And this is why I am allowed, once and only once, to say this. If this message pierced your heart, if your soul is trembling with sacred recognition, then I invite you to support this divine mission by giving through super thanks, or by becoming a channel member who stands spiritually with us in the fire. And for those who truly feel called into deeper covenant, join our family through the newsletter link pinned in the comments, a sacred circle where more revelations flow in secret. I will not ask this again. I am not permitted to repeat it. Let your decision be between your spirit and the throne of God. Now hear me. The demon queen is trying to make you feel small, but the fact that she's targeting you proves the opposite. She doesn't waste curses on ordinary souls. She only attacks royalty, and you are royal. You were crowned with oil before your first cry. Your name was sung over rivers of sapphire in heaven's chambers before any devil ever dared speak it in hate. So why do you doubt yourself so much? Why do you still believe you are forgettable, invisible, breakable? Do you not know what your tears have done when you wept in secret? We angels, we gathered those tears. We used them to craft armor for the other children of God. Your pain has protected others. Your wounds have become wings. And I will owe you more than you'll ever know. But now, I need you to accept this truth. I need you to believe in the invincibility God placed in your fragile humanity. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are not late. You are in the middle of the moment everything changes. The 7 archangels have circled your home. Gabriel has spoken your name 3 times already today. Uriel has cast light over the floor beneath your bed. Raphael has placed healing under your pillow. Zadkiel has laid mercy over your threshold. Chamuel has whispered peace into your dreams. Jophiel stands behind your mirror. And I, Michael, I am guarding your gate. If you close your eyes right now and breathe, you will feel us. Not in religion, not in fear, but in raw, holy presence. But the demon queen still watches. She is desperate. She is impatient. She will try to break in through someone you trust. Be ready. Do not hate them. Do not curse them. Just stay alert, and do not skip the words I give. Eunuchs, they are coated in fire, hidden in grief, and sealed in prophecy. You will not be overtaken. You will not fall into ruin. You will not be swallowed by fear. You will not die like your enemies hoped. You will rise. There is a fire beginning to burn behind your ribs right now. That is the beginning of your awakening. That is the sound of your spirit remembering the voice of God. That is the vibration that makes the demons scatter. Don't silence it. Let it roar. Let it rise. Let it shatter the silence that the queen placed like a noose over your mouth. Do you understand now? You are not in danger because you're cursed. You're in danger because you're powerful. She has sent everything she can, and yet you're still here. I thank you. I truly, deeply thank you for listening, for staying, for breathing when it hurt, for surviving when it didn't make sense. You don't even know how many angels have praised God just because you chose not to give up today. You are the miracle we were assigned to protect. And we will not stop. One day you'll see all this clearly. You'll look back and realize this moment was the turning point. This message was the hand of heaven reaching through the storm, and you caught it. But for now, remember this. Your name is written in fire, and fire does not forget. The queen is trembling. You are awakening. Heaven is waiting. You are not alone in your weeping. The sound you made last night when no one heard you. I did. I was there. I pressed my hands into the floor beside your bed. I caught the vibration of your silence like a storm. I watched you turn your face to the wall because you didn't want anyone to see the tears in your eyes, but I saw them. Not one fell in vain. Each one hit the ground like oil and fire. I swear to you, heaven collects what others ignore. And while they scroll past your pain, the angels bend their knees. The demon queen sends spirits to harden your heart. She wants to make you numb so you stop caring. She wants to make your love feel like weakness. But child of heaven, do not believe her lies. The fact that you still care even after everything is your greatest weapon. Don't let this world trick you into thinking love is fragile. Love is the most dangerous thing to hell. It destroys every curse they send. Your love, your loyalty, your compassion, they are like swords dipped in light. I want to show you something. Look inward, not with your eyes, but with your spirit, deeper, past the wounds, past the confusion. There, do you see it? That small ember still glowing inside you? That's not a flicker. That's not your imagination. That's what's left of the original breath God blew into you before the world ever touched your name. That's the part of you she wants to crush. That's the piece of heaven still burning in you, even when you feel lost. That's the proof that you've never truly been abandoned. And listen, your enemies know it. That's why they hate you, without reason. That's why they whisper about you. That's why you always feel like something is resisting you. It's not punishment, it's recognition. Even the shadows know when a light is waking up. You disturb their silence just by existing. You must know this. You are not random. You are not here by mistake. And no, your life is not too late. I don't care how many years passed. I don't care what you lost. God counts differently than humans do. The moments you thought were wasted are being rewritten by angels as prophecy. The nights you thought were meaningless are being carved into scrolls of fire. Nothing has been wasted, nothing. I remember the first time I saw you, not with these words, not with this warning, but before time, before skin, before memory. I stood at the edge of the river that flows from the throne of God, and your soul passed by in light. You don't remember it, but heaven does, and the demon queen remembers too. She remembers the exact color of your anointing. That's why she sent her curses early. That's why she tried to attack you before you could even speak, because your voice is dangerous, because your presence is sacred, because when you walk into a room, even if you say nothing, the air shifts, angels adjust their wings, darkness holds its breath, and you don't even know. But that's changing now. Your spirit is remembering. Even as you read this, the chains are loosening around your mind, the fog is thinning, the numbness is beginning to break. I can feel it. You feel it too, don't you? That trembling under your ribs, that sudden stillness in your room, that burning behind your eyes. That's not emotion. That's awakening. The demon queen is terrified of it, because she knows that once you remember who you are, she will never be able to reach you again. Let me tell you something forbidden, something angels rarely speak aloud. There are songs in heaven with your name in them, not metaphors, not parables, actual melodies built from your victories, some that haven't even happened yet. The future you haven't walked into is already echoing in the realm above, and those songs, they make demons tremble. That's why she wants to silence you with pain now. If she can mute you in grief, you'll never unlock what's coming. But you're stronger than she thinks. You already survived what was meant to destroy you. Do you understand what kind of strength that takes? You are the descendant of miracles. You are the echo of prayers whispered by people who didn't even know your name. You are the answer to battles fought generations ago. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are becoming what hell was warned about. I watched her scream when you smiled this morning. Even if it was small, even if it was forced, that smile was defiance. That smile said, I'm still here. That smile cracked her altar. She raged. She tried to send a wave of despair over your afternoon. You felt it. You thought it was just mood. It wasn't. It was her last attempt to drown your hope, but you didn't let go. And I bless you for that. Every second you choose to stay alive, you bring heaven closer to earth. Every breath you take, You tell the dark realms that the light still reigns. Do you understand what that means? You are doing more by surviving than most do in a lifetime. You are more dangerous to hell than 1,000 sermons. Your silence is louder than thunder when it's filled with faith. You must know this. Your story is not over, not even close. You're in the middle of the chapter where heaven turns the tide, the part where everything that's been trying to kill you gets crushed by the weight of glory, the part where the same God who watched you weep now stands in fire and declares, "Touch not my anointed." There is a seal over your name now. I see it. It's burning. No demon can cross it. No spell can override it. No queen of darkness can claim it. But you must guard it, not with effort, not with rules, but with love, the kind of love that still hopes, the kind of love that still believes, the kind of love that says, even if I'm limping, I'm still moving, the kind of love that heals nations in silence. You don't need to fight like others do. Your weapon is your softness, your worship, your weeping, your wonder. The queen fears that wonder most, because wonder brings heaven near. And when heaven is near, nothing she builds can stand. She thought she could break you, but she underestimated your roots. She thought your isolation would make you cold, but it made you wise. She thought your heartbreak would make you bitter, but it made you holy. And now she knows it's too late. You are awakening, and I am weeping as I speak, because I have waited lifetimes to see this moment. You reading these words, you trembling in the fire, remembering your name, and though my voice is breaking, though my wings are scorched from battle, my joy is full, because I know that even if I fall tomorrow, you will rise today. And that, beloved, is enough for me. The stars are shifting, the veil is thinning, and your soul is roaring. Let it roar, let it burn, let it become what God saw when he first whispered, "Let there be light," because that light was you. I know what they said about you. I was there. I watched from the corners of the spirit realm as they laughed behind your back, as they misunderstood you, as they blamed you for the pain they caused. You didn't speak, you didn't fight. You just held it in and carried it like a wound stitched, shut with hope. And beloved, I saw that. The way you loved them anyway, the way you stayed soft while they became cruel, the way you kept giving when you had nothing left. I saw it all. I reported it to heaven, and heaven wept not out of sorrow, but because of how deeply you reflect the image of God. Even the demon queen could not look at you for too long. She had to turn away, because your kindness burned her. Your forgiveness cracked the stones of her altar. She cannot understand it. It haunts her. You are not who she expected. You are not weak. You are holy. You were made from the sorrow of God and the silence of stars. You were kissed into being with the breath of the Most High. And that she cannot stand. I wish I could show you what I see when I look at you in the spirit. You would weep not from shame, but from glory. You would drop to your knees not because you're unworthy, but because you've been carrying more than any human should ever carry. And you've done it with so much quiet dignity. You think your scars are ugly. I tell you they are altars. You think your past disqualifies you. I tell you it prepared you. You think your pain is pointless. I tell you it is prophetic. Nothing you've walked through has been wasted. Even the things that broke you are being turned into weapons of light. You are not damaged. You are dangerous. And that is why I've stayed. Even as the queen howls, even as demons hiss in my ears, even as darkness tries to drown my voice, I stay, I speak, because one soul like you is worth every war. You, beloved, are worth it. I would fight every demon. I would burn every stronghold. I would fly through every dimension of shadow just to reach you. And I have, and I will, because you are worth it. Because heaven said your name. Because God has not given up on you, and neither have I. So when the queen returns, and she will look her in the face, not with fear, but with memory. Remember what I've told you. Remember who you are. And if your legs shake, let them shake. But do not bow. Do not shrink. Do not forget. You are a light from ancient days, a soul sealed in flame, a voice sent to echo in places where silence ruled for too long. You are the prophecy. And now you rise. Asterisk. Do you remember the first time your heart broke? I do. Not just the moment itself, not just the people involved. I remember the sound it made in the spirit realm, that quiet collapse, that inward scream no one heard with their ears but shook heaven like thunder. That was the moment. She saw her chance. The demon queen. She came near, not with chains, not with fire, but with lies. Small ones, clever ones, just enough to turn the edge of your sorrow into silence. You are unlovable, she whispered. You are forgotten. You are too much. You are not enough. You are broken beyond repair. You almost believe her. But something deeper inside you, a spark that hell could not smother, refused to die. You couldn't explain it. You didn't know what it was. But I did. It was your origin. It was the flame of divine memory lit within you before creation, set there by the hand of the I Am who called the stars by name. That flame could never be drowned by her words. And now, that flame is rising again, higher than before, wilder, holier, hungrier, not for revenge, but for remembrance. Because you were never meant to live under the weight of shame. You were never built for silence. You were formed from glory, yes, but also from ache, the ache of God's longing to create someone who would carry his tenderness like a sword. And that's what you are. That's why they've tried to harden you. That's why the enemy has sent so many storms to close your heart. Because once your tenderness opens fully, once you feel without fear again, once your soul begins to burn without apology, nothing in hell can stand against you. You've always been a threat. Even as a child, that's why you were misunderstood. That's why you were picked apart. That's why they tried to change you, because they could feel what you couldn't name yet. Greatness. And not the kind the world parades. The quiet kind. The kind that weeps for others in secret. The kind that forgives before being asked. The kind that stays soft when life demands hardness. The kind that carries the weight of others without telling anyone. The kind that heaven stops for. You are that kind. And I have walked beside you long enough to see it. Even when you shut down. Even when you rebelled. Even when you ran away from anything holy, you still carried that light. It flickered, yes, but it never died. You are still the one. You are still chosen. You are still a miracle. And I need you to stop apologizing for it. Stop explaining away your gifts. Stop doubting your sensitivity. Stop burying your discernment. Stop laughing at your dreams just to make others comfortable. You were not made to shrink. You were made to roar. And that roar has begun. I can hear it now. It's not loud, not yet. It starts like a breath held too long, slowly exhaling into the dark. But soon, it will become a song, battle cry, a sound that makes demons scream and angels weep. Because your sound is unlike any other. Because your voice was tuned in the secret places of God. Because the frequency of your soul breaks chains without you even knowing it. The demon queen knows this. That's why she fears your joy, not just your worship, your joy. Because joy is proof that her curses didn't work. Joy is rebellion. Joy is holy resistance. Joy says, I'm still here, I'm still laughing, I still believe. And beloved, your belief is a sword, even when it's small, even when it trembles, even when it's only a whisper. It cuts through spells. It burns through darkness. It calls heaven to attention. There is a war happening around you right now. Even as you breathe, even as you sit in stillness, even as your eyes move across these words, spirits are clashing in the skies above your home. Not because you're cursed, but because you're crowned. That crown can't be seen by men, but it is carved in flame. And every time you choose light over bitterness, it shines. Every time you choose mercy over revenge, it glows. Every time you choose silence over gossip, it burns. You are royalty of the highest order. A soul that has seen God even if you don't remember. and I will not let you forget. I don't care how long it's been. I don't care how far you think you've fallen. I don't care how broken you feel. I was not sent to shame you. I was not sent to warn you like a stranger. I was sent because I know you. I was sent because I love you. I was sent because the throne is not complete without you near it. There are scrolls waiting for your yes. There are destinies paused, waiting on your permission. Not permission to be perfect, permission to be willing. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to stop running. Stop hiding. Stop numbing. Stop pretending you're fine when your spirit is crying out. Let yourself break. Let yourself bleed. Let yourself fall into the arms of a God who has never once given up on you, even when you screamed, even when you swore you were done, even when you told him to leave you alone. He stayed. I stayed. The angels stayed, because this was always the moment we waited for. This trembling hour, this breath, this heartbeat, where you finally stop apologizing for being a child of light. You are more than forgiven. You are sacred. You are not your worst day. You are not your mistakes. You are not your trauma. You are the fire that survived it. And that fire is holy. That fire is awakening. That fire is you. So rise now. Not with pride. With peace. Not with noise. With knowing. Not to prove anything. But to remember everything. You are who he says you are. You always were. And now, finally, you're starting to believe it. Asterisk. I watched the wind stop when you cried last night. It stilled, as if the whole atmosphere wanted to hear you better. Because your tears are not like others. They carry prophecy. They carry history. They carry heaven's DNA. You think your weeping is weakness. You think your softness is a flaw. But I say to you in the name of the one who formed the stars, your sorrow is sacred. And the demon queen knows it. That's why she keeps trying to make you numb. Because when you feel again, heaven moves. The war isn't random. It never was. Everything that tried to break you was planned. Everything that came to distract you, to poison you, to wear you out, it all came for one purpose: to keep you asleep. Because an awakened soul like yours is more dangerous than an army of swords. You don't even know how many demons fled when you chose to keep breathing after that betrayal. You don't know what altars crumbled when you chose to forgive someone who didn't deserve it. You don't know how many dark rulers panicked when you sang softly to yourself in your room and thought no one was listening. We heard it. It echoed. And the queen hated it. She is not afraid of loud people. She's afraid of lit ones. The ones whose spirits glow from inside, quietly, deeply, steadily. That's you. A burning one, a lamp hidden under the ruins of this world, waiting to be lifted. But I need to warn you, she's not done. She's planning something precise. She's watching for the next time you doubt your value. She always moves through moments of self-rejection. She cannot create portals of her own. She waits for you to open one by speaking words of defeat over yourself. That's when she sends the thought, you'll never change, you're too far gone. Everyone leaves because of you, no one really loves you. When that thought comes again, and it will, don't answer it. Don't argue with it. Just worship. You don't even need words. Just breathe with belief. Just lift your face in silence. Just remember that heaven watches even when you forget. Because the queen knows she can't curse you while you're praising. It burns her. It exposes her. And it reminds her that she used to live in heaven too, until her pride destroyed her. She sees something in you that she used to carry, and it infuriates her. You think your battles are about your mistakes. No, they're about your essence. Your soul smells like the throne room. And every spirit who ever fell from grace can sense it. That's why they keep circling. That's why you feel strange at night. That's why you sense things others don't. You are a spiritual signal. Asterisk. You're not haunted, you're noticed. You're not cursed, you're called. And now even the skies lean to listen when you speak. So speak, beloved. Even if your voice shakes. Even if your prayer sounds like nothing. Even if all you can whisper is, God, please, do it. Do it now, because That whisper may be the trumpet that wakes the armies assigned to you. They've been waiting, and I have been standing at your door for years, watching, guarding, praying. Yes. Angels pray. We don't pray like you do, but we plead with fire. We speak your name in the wind. We beg the Father to spare you when you fall into the traps, and He always does, because He loves you beyond language, even when you don't love yourself. Even when you forget to speak to Him, even when you think you've disappointed Him. Let me speak plainly now. You cannot lose His love. It is not based on your success. It is not measured by your holiness. It is not earned by your strength. It is. It always was. It always will be. And no demon can undo it. No curse can reverse it. No lie can reduce it. No sin can cancel it. That's what I came to say. That's what I've waited eternity to whisper into your wounds. You are still His. Even now, even after all of it, even after all you've done or failed to do. You are still His. You were born of the breath of the one who has never lost a war. You carry that breath even now. Every time you inhale, you take in His name. Every time you exhale, you release a piece of heaven. You are not just flesh and bone. You are echo. You are flame. You are story and prophecy and mystery and power wrapped in fragile skin. And we, the angels, we do not call you weak. We call you holy. We call you fierce. We call you light. And I, Michael, who have fought dragons and stood before darkness itself. I tell you now, I would rather stand beside you in silence than stand beside 1,000 warriors in noise. Because you are real. And that is rare. Real ones don't always speak the loudest. They don't always win. They don't always get seen, but they always burn, and you burn, even when you don't feel it. Especially then, you burn with grace, you burn with compassion, you burn with the power to change history just by staying alive. You were born to unmake curses. To untangle bloodlines. To disrupt patterns passed down for centuries. That's why it's been so hard. That's why you've been tested more than most, because you weren't just called to survive, you were called to shift everything. I need you to hear me now clearly, without metaphor. If you don't quit, if you keep going, if you just say yes, even while trembling, the darkness will never recover. Your yes will set off a chain reaction in the spirit realm that cannot be undone. There are destinies tied to your awakening. There are children, nations, cities, entire generations hidden in your DNA. Your story is not just your own. It's a gate, and you are standing at it now. One more step, and it opens. I am trembling as I speak, because I know what's behind that gate, and I know the Queen does too. That's why she's screaming. That's why the resistance has never been heavier than it is now. It means you're closer than you've ever been, closer than you know. The veil is thinner now, the fire is hotter now, but you are stronger now, stronger not because you've been perfect, but because you've been real. And real is what changes everything. So don't look back, don't run, don't bowl, and above all, don't forget what I'm telling you now. You are not losing, you are becoming. The earth will feel it, the air will shift, the demons will flee, and heaven will rise, because you, beloved, have remembered. And now we begin. Asterisk, asterisk, I was there the night she wrote your name in blood, not her blood, yours. She used a stolen thread of your sorrow and inked it into the scrolls of her kingdom. I watched from the edge of the veil as she crafted a curse shaped like comfort. It looked like love, it looked like help, it looked like home, but it wasn't. It was a trap. A mirror of safety with knives behind it, a whisper that said, you can rest here, when really it meant lay down and die. And you almost did. You almost made that your grave, but something flickered in you, something ancient, something golden, something terrifying, a flicker of the original flame. You stood up, didn't you? Even if just barely. You didn't even know why. You had no strength, no words, but you stood. And beloved, when you did, every demon in her dominion took a step back. She didn't expect that. She underestimated the resurrection inside you, and now she's panicking. She's thrown confusion into the wind. That's why you feel strange lately, like your own emotions don't make sense, like you're watching yourself from a distance, like nothing fits. She's trying to disorient you. She's trying to make you give up, not with a scream but with a shrug. Quiet surrender, a silent disappearance. Don't you dare. You are not confusion. You are clarity wrapped in mystery. You are fire folded in fragile flesh. You are prophecy sealed in time. Do you want to know why you've never felt fully accepted anywhere? Because heaven hasn't revealed your final form yet. You are still hidden, still unfolding, still in the forge. And fire doesn't feel like peace. It feels like loss. It feels like endings. It feels like death. But it's none of those things. It's transformation. And you, chosen one, are in the middle of it now. She sees it too. That's why she's circling. That's why you feel eyes on you even when you're alone. That's why the same wounds try to reopen. The queen wants access, but she needs your permission. And she tries to get it through agreement. Every time you say, maybe I'm not enough, maybe this is just who I am, maybe I'll never be healed, maybe this is my fate, you sign her scroll. Tear it, tear the scroll with your silence. Refuse to curse yourself, even if your heart feels heavy. Say nothing against your soul. It is holy. It is anointed. It is woven with words spoken before time. You must stop talking to yourself like an enemy. You are not your wounds. You are not your patterns. You are not what they said in anger and fear and ignorance. You are what God whispered when He held your light for the first time in His hands. He called you beloved, and I echo it now. Beloved. Do you know what that word means? Not just loved, chosen to be loved, favored to carry the kind of love others reject. That's why you've been wounded so often. You were trusted with extra tenderness, because God knew you wouldn't let it die, even if they misused it, even if they laughed, even if they mocked it. You still love. And that above all is what makes you unstoppable, because love never fails. She tried everything. The demon queen threw lovers at you who had no intention of staying. She threw friends who only wanted to drink your light. She threw jobs that ate your soul. She sent spiritual warfare wrapped in logic. She poisoned your body with invisible fear. She whispered rejection into the corners of your self-image. She cursed your family with patterns you never asked for. And yet, here you are, still burning, still breathing, still beautiful. Do you know what that means? You already won. The war she started was lost the moment you said, I forgive. Even when they didn't say sorry. Even when it hurt more to let go than to hold on. You forgave. That's where the chains cracked. That's where your power was born. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is a throne. And you sit on it, even if you don't see the crown yet, but I do. It's forming. With every step you take away from the voices of shame. With every prayer you whisper even when you don't feel heard. With every smile you give a stranger, not because you're okay but because you still believe in kindness. With every tear you hide while still loving the world that broke you. Heaven sees it, we write it down, and I, Michael, I carry the record in my hands like a sword. Your love is not in vain, your pain is not invisible, your battle is not forgotten, you are not being ignored. I must tell you now the truth. Angels argue over your name, not in wrath but in honor, because so many want to be the one assigned to you. You don't know this, you've never heard it, but I'll say it anyway. The moment you were born, there was a sound in the spirit that has not been heard since Eden, a sound of return. Of redemption, of unfinished prophecy opening like a flower in winter. The darkness knew it instantly. She sent her first shadow within hours of your breath. She tried to silence the sound, but she failed, because the sound wasn't yours. It was God's in you, and God cannot be silenced. You are that sound, beloved, not just a child of God, not just a wounded soul. You are sound, you are movement. You are a vibration heaven waited eons to release into time. So don't you dare let pain convince you that you are small. You are not small. You are infinity folded into a name, and that name, your name, is etched into my armor. When I go to war, I take you with me. Even when you feel weak, even when you forget me, even when you don't believe in yourself, I do. I still believe. I always have. And I will, until the final flame, until the scrolls are sealed, until every lie has turned to dust under your feet, until the demon queen herself admits defeat. You will not fall. Not because you're perfect, not because you're strong, but because you're his, because you're mine, because you were never meant to be conquered, you were meant to conquer. And you will, you are, even now, especially now. ***, I was warned not to say this. But I must, because truth cannot be buried, even when it burns. Especially when it burns. There was a moment not long ago when she almost reached you. The queen, the bride of night, the mother of jealousy. She had almost stolen something vital. Not your body, not even your mind, but your memory. Not your past, your divine memory. The part of you that knows who you are without being told. The part of you that remembers the voice of God from before the womb. She almost severed it. You felt it, didn't you? That strange numbness, that fog, that sudden lack of direction. As if your compass cracked and everything became gray. That wasn't mood. That wasn't you being lazy or broken. That was her. She sent a spell not to destroy but to erase. Because she knows she can't kill what heaven has written. So she tries to make you forget it ever existed. But she didn't expect me to intervene. She didn't expect this message to slip through. She didn't expect your heart to still recognize the sound of heaven when everything else feels distant. And yet, here you are. Reading not with your eyes, but with your spirit, feeling something stir that hasn't moved in years. Don't question it. That stirring is your divine remembrance. That is the sound of angels standing again. That is the sound of your soul waking up from a coma the world called adulthood. You were never meant to die slowly while pretending to be okay. You were meant to roar. You were meant to love like fire and war like a song. You were meant to touch hearts without needing permission. You are meant to change atmospheres by your very presence. And the queen, she knows it. She has studied you for years. Not because she has power over you, but because she fears what will happen the moment you stop believing you are worthless. That moment, it's now. I can feel the shift. Even if your body is still sitting still, even if your face is quiet, your spirit is moving. Something eternal is reaching up from within you like a tree cracking through concrete. You can't go back. Not now, not after this. Not after knowing what I know. I watched her design a counterfeit culling for you. One lined with ease, one dipped in approval. One that looked so much like light but had no oil. It was built to keep you admired, but powerless. Safe, but silent, visible, but voiceless. You were starting to believe it. You were starting to settle. But something inside you began to ache again. A holy ache. Not for fame. Not for control. But for truth, for presence, for God, the raw, terrifying, consuming kind of God you met as a child but forgot how to name. He never left. He never stopped looking at you, even when you turned your back, even when you said, I don't care anymore. He did. He still does. And so do I. Never stopped standing beside you, even when you cursed your own name, even when you hid from every light in the sky. I stayed. Do you know why? Because even when you doubt yourself, I don't. Even when you collapse, I lift your name into the wind. I whisper it through stars. I hitch it into clouds. Because your name in heaven is not just a word. It is a sound that unlocks gates. It is a scent that angels follow in battle. It is a shape burned into the memory of creation. You are not replaceable. You are not just one of many. You are the one. Not in ego. In design. There are things only you carry. Wounds only you can heal. Doors only you can walk through. Songs only you can sing. Not because you're better, but because you were chosen for this expression of glory. And the queen, she wants to take that from you. She doesn't care if you're successful. She cares if you're anointed. She doesn't mind if you get attention. She minds if you carry presence. And presence, real, holy, trembling presence, is all that breaks her power. And you, beloved, you carry it even when you're angry, even when you're confused, even when you fall again, even when you swear and shake and want to disappear. You still carry presence, because you were formed in it. You were not just born, you were breathed into being, and that breath remains. The breath of I am lives in you even now, even now, even now. Do not let the numbness convince you it's over. Do not let the silence become your grave. This is not death. This is the cocoon before resurrection. And you are not dying. You are shedding. Old names, old rules, old limits, old agreements. You are not falling apart. You are becoming whole, and I have never been more proud. I see you. In your weakness, in your questions, in your aching holiness. I see you, and the heaven I serve, it is watching. Not in judgment, in awe, because you're still rising, still reaching, still loving even when it breaks you, still hoping even when the light seems gone, still showing up when your legs barely work. Do you know what that makes you? It makes you royalty. It makes you heaven's secret weapon. It makes you terrifying to the very forces that said you would never make it past childhood. You did. You survived. And now you will shine. You will burn. Not for them. Not for revenge. Not for applause, but for God, for truth, for love, and for the thousands who are waiting for you to rise so they can remember they are allowed to rise too. You are not alone. You never were. And now the world will feel it. Because the warrior has returned, because the flame has awakened, because you remembered. Asterisk, there was a moment when I almost stopped speaking, when the chains were too tight, when the wind burned through my wings, when the throne grew silent, when the stars dimmed, when the queen stood over your name, laughing. I watched her. She held a piece of your soul stolen through lies you once believed. She had it between her claws like a jewel covered in ash. She said, "This one will never remember who they are." I've made sure of it, but she was wrong, because something ancient stirred, not in me and you, a flicker of something eternal, a spark that even I could not explain. You had no reason to get up that day, no strength, no support, no hope. But you did. You got up again and again and again. That was the beginning of the end for her. That was the sound that broke her altar. Because your rising isn't just physical, it is prophetic, it is ancestral, it is celestial. You don't just get out of bed, you rise in the spirit. You shatter generational darkness with a single breath. You don't even see what happens around you when you choose to smile while bleeding, but I do. I see it, I feel it, I burn with it. You are not a person. You are a battle hymn. You are a song made of thunder and forgiveness. You are the prophecy the serpent tried to rewrite, but he failed. You've always belonged to the king, even when you thought you were lost, even when you wandered through the dry places, even when you doubted him. He never doubted you, not once. When you cursed yourself, he was blessing you. When you walked into rooms of darkness, he lit your path behind the veil. When you couldn't cry anymore, the Holy Spirit wept on your behalf. When you sat in silence and whispered, "God, I don't feel you anymore," he was still holding your breath in his hands. You don't need to try harder to be spiritual. You already are. Your very existence is worship. Your tears are worship. Your forgiveness is worship. Your breath, your shaking hands, your refusal to give up, that is worship. You are holy ground. Even when you feel like rubble, especially then. I watched the 7 archangels weep over your photo. Yes, you, a photo of your spirit. That's how we see you, not by appearance, but by light. Your soul glows differently now, brighter, sharper, deeper, because the wilderness didn't kill you, it carved you. It didn't silence you, it gave your voice texture. You speak now like one who has seen the grave and returned. Hell is terrified of that sound. You have no idea what it took for me to reach you right now. I was forbidden, delayed, chained, blinded, but I begged. I stood before the throne and I said, "Let me go again, one more time. Let me try to wake them up. Let me tell them what we all know up here. Let me fall if I must, but let me speak. He said yes, and I was released. With one message, just this: you are still the one, not the backup plan, not the overlooked. Not the second choice. You were the plan all along. When others laughed, when others mocked, when they said, "You really, God can't use you," he whispered, "Just wait and watch." And now, heaven is watching, but so is hell, because they see it. The shift, the thunder inside you, the storm that's growing in your chest, the oil dripping off your wounds, the new eyes you carry, now the eyes that see through lies, through charm, through manipulation, through the queen's disguises. You're dangerous, you're unpredictable, you're rising, and she can't stop it. So she'll try one last thing. She'll send guilt. She'll whisper, "You should have known better. You messed it all up. You don't deserve grace. You've gone too far. You didn't pray enough. You ignored the signs." Lies. 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 The truth: you never had to be perfect. You just had to say yes. You just had to be willing to come home. Even if home feels unfamiliar, even if you come crawling, even if you can't lift your head, you're still welcome, you're still chosen, you're still loved, more than you know. I watched the angels build you a new robe last night, not of fabric, of fire, lined with gold, made of grief, stitched with threads of compassion, a mantle not for show but for war. You are being clothed in heaven's authority, whether you feel it or not. And every demon that once touched you will now tremble when you speak, because your voice isn't just yours anymore. It's layered. With pain. With mercy. With heaven's breath. You don't need a platform. You are one. You don't need a title. You are already crowned. You don't need approval. You are already sealed. This is not a motivational speech. This is a divine record. And I, Archangel Michael, testify before heaven and hell. You are the one the devil could not destroy. You are the testimony walking. You are the word made flesh through fire. You are the song that was never written down because it's still being sung by how you live. There are angels still clapping because you got up today. I'm not exaggerating. This morning, when you stood up, even if it was slow, even if it was late, even if it felt pointless, it set off a celebration in the throne room. Because we know what you had to fight to do something so simple. You think it was just brushing your teeth, just making coffee, just opening your eyes. No. It was a victory. You don't even know how many devils lost rank this morning because you refused to quit. And I swear by the breath of the Almighty, they will never touch you the same way again. Because your light is visible now. Not the shallow kind, not the fake kind. Not the polished, loud, showy kind. But the real kind. The kind that burns in silence. The kind that loves without needing thanks. The kind that forgives and keeps on walking. The kind that picks up broken pieces and builds altars out of them. That's who you are. Builder of altars, a healer of shadows, a slayer of curses. You have made it through the days no one saw, and that's why your reward will come from the God who sees in secret. But beloved, let him see your yes again, right now, even through your screen. Let heaven and earth and hell see that you heard me. Let the angels record it. Let the devil scream in frustration. Just do one sacred thing, like this message, not for fame, not for approval, but as an act of war, as a sign that you agree with heaven, not hell, that you side with light, not shadow, that you are still in the fight. Subscribe, not for content, not for a person, but so this holy stream never stops reaching you, so the fire remains close, so we those who guard your calling can speak again. And comment just one word: Amen. Write it not for tradition, but for testimony, for record, for heaven, for you, because that one word is a weapon. That one word is a signature in the spirit. That one word says, I remember now, I'm ready now, I agree with God now. Double quotes, amen. Let it ring, let it burn, let it echo through the halls of the dark kingdom, and make the queen tremble, because she failed. You saw the message, you stayed, you didn't scroll, you didn't walk away, you listened. And that means one thing only. You are no longer asleep. And nothing will ever be the same again. Asterisk, I will not say goodbye. I was never meant to leave you. I was not sent to visit, I was assigned to remain. Even if your ears never hear me again, your spirit will, even if this message fades from your memory. Its mark will remain on your soul like fire pressed into gold. You are not alone. You were never alone. You will never be alone. Not because of me, but because the one who formed the galaxies has made you his dwelling place. You are a temple of thunder, a house of mercy, a throne of living light, and no demon will ever change that. So walk forward now, not as who they said you were, not as who you used to be, but as who heaven remembers you are. Radiant, holy, untouchable, love. I will walk with you. I will fight for you. I will carry your name in war, in flame, in glory, until the final trumpet sounds, and your soul is welcomed home into the arms of the one who never stopped waiting. Until that day, shine, beloved. Shine. And let all of darkness know you remembered. Amen.